Now to the latest facts on coronavirus and this pandemic, starting with new steps in Tallahassee aimed at tackling the state's troubled unemployment system. This morning, Governor DeSantis is ordering an investigation into a long series of problems that have left hundreds of thousands of Floridians frustrated. Ed Castro's live in Seminole County this morning. More on this now. Some other steps have already been taken, Ezzy.
Yes, the governor calling the state inspector general to step in and investigate the unemployment website. He says the agency has been working nonstop to fix all of this, especially since so many submitted multiple applications.
This is a capacity issue, and that just never seemed to be something that people had paid a lot of attention to.
Governor Ron DeSantis is now ordering an investigation into the state's unemployment application system, Connect, saying he acknowledges the system was flawed after more than 1 million claims were filed due to the pandemic.
We thought about maybe just doing it by hand and having these people in, and I ended up surging people in. We thought about maybe you do that. The problem is that there's so many different databases that need to be pinged on this that it probably would have taken months and months to be able to do that.
Though many couldn't access the system within the last month and a half, so far more than 1 million claims have been filed. 735,000 claims have been processed and about 478,000 claims have been paid. DeSantis says the state agency is working around the clock, bringing 2,000 employees and 72 additional servers.
We have 5 call centers now up and running in the state of Florida just for reemployment assistance. So that's the most we've ever had.
So last week, thousands were marked ineligible. Now, officials say those people who applied before April 4th should reapply, this time on floridajobs.org. Live in Sanford, Ezzy Castro, getting results, News 6.
Ezzy, thank you. In the meantime, at least some Floridians are getting back to work. The state is entering day 2 of the first phase in the long reopening process. News 6's Mark Lehman explains how some local leaders are already looking ahead.
When it comes to those business owners not included in Phase 1, Orange County Mayor Jerry Deming says he hopes barbershops and salons will be back open by the end of the week. Meanwhile, those businesses that were included in the first phase are now welcoming back customers with restrictions in place. All across Central Florida, some small businesses are filling with the signs of people getting back to work.
We're feeling super excited. It's kind of like the first day of school.
For restaurants, that means allowing people to eat inside once again, although at a reduced capacity of 25%. Some customers, though, feeling more comfortable eating outside.
You just adapt to what you have to do, but it'd be nice to get some normality back.
Safety guidelines being the priority for business owners. They include having gloves and masks, as well as plenty of hand sanitizer and enhanced cleaning. The efforts put in place to put minds at ease.
We're not going to require our customers to wear masks, but in the event that somebody is exhibiting symptoms, we will ask them to leave.
Meanwhile, changes are also underway in the city of Orlando. Mayor Buddy Dyer announcing measures to help restaurants expand, removing the need for permits to allow for increased social distancing.
We're going to let businesses expand outside, so that means if you're a restaurant, you can move tables into parking lots.
And those measures in the city of Orlando also include covering the cost of parking to encourage people to visit local businesses. Now, as day 1 of the first phase is now in the books, we're also hearing from a local retail shop owner. He takes us inside his store coming up in our next report at 6:30. For now, reporting in Winter Park, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
Thank you, Mark. And while many restaurants are starting to get back to business, other owners say the cost of reopening is still too high. News 6 talked yesterday with the manager of the New England Eatery and Pub in Melbourne Beach. She says she's doing business at 25% dining capacity. It's not going to be enough to cover costs, while getting seafood from New England has also been a problem because it isn't being trucked in from the Northeast right now.
Opening with a limited menu is not interesting to us. Our business is New England Eatery. That's the type of food we serve. We have to be able to get our product.
So they'll stay closed. Workers at the restaurant tell us they're worried about the future of their jobs with that business staying closed. The number of coronavirus cases, meantime, continues to climb in Florida. The state added another 819 cases and 20 deaths yesterday. Important to point out, they were mostly in South Florida. In fact, our area, Central Florida, saw 24 new cases yesterday, with 4 in Orange County, the lowest number we've seen in this area in weeks. Health leaders in Orange County also say 93% of people who tested positive have already recovered, but there is another stat that does have them concerned.
10% of all positive tests in Orange County so far are of those of asymptomatic people. We don't know who may have it. So it's important to protect everyone and protect from everyone.
The county says it's in the process of rolling out more mobile testing. The 2 sites in 32822 and 32824 zip codes will run through the end of the week.
Meantime, the FDA is now ordering all companies selling coronavirus antibody tests to submit data proving they work. There are more than 200 of those tests now on the market, but the agency says only 12 have emergency approval and some others are flawed. As we have been reporting, these tests can be critically important because blood plasma from people who have had the virus can be given to those who are still sick. And many waited for hours yesterday to get tested at the Volusia County Fairgrounds. The company offering those tests, Family Health Source, says it will hand them out every weekday except for Wednesdays, likely for the next few weeks.
Elective surgeries have started up again at many Florida hospitals, including Advent Health locations across Central Florida. Doctors there tell us cases that are time sensitive will be first on the list. All patients and staff will be tested for coronavirus before having any procedures done, and doctors say they'll keep a close eye on the numbers.
Again, as we test more, we are going to see more positives, but what we're really looking for is what's that rate. And as long as the rate continues to decrease, we're okay.
Advent Health also opened its visitation policy to 1 visitor per patient per day. Visitors will also be screened and required to wear masks. With Volusia County beaches back open, enforcement of social distancing rules has picked up. Sky 6 flew over the coast yesterday. County officials say more than 900 warnings have been issued since Saturday, which they say they expected with the larger crowds. Businesses along the beach are also seeing customers returning, including Perry's Ocean Edge Resort, which had been closed for weeks.
It was unexpectedly crazy. I mean, it's like because the beaches got opened, you know, not for just exercise, but for leisure, and people went crazy.
Just to the south in Brevard County, businesses coming back in phases. Part of the Cocoa Beach Pier is open for the first time since March. While workers are getting ready for the full reopening, officials say safety is the top priority.
We're going into uncharted territory. It's very easy to say, hey, you know, I maximize my profits if I open up everything today. We want to step into it, make sure our team members are trained, make sure the guests are comfortable.
Officials say the pier could be fully open by Friday.